Imagine this, Army. You're casually scrolling through your timeline, and suddenly the name Jimin Bts pops up in an article from a major American media outlet. Your heart skips a beat, right? You probably think, wait, did Jimin just land a French film project? Or is he up for some new nomination? But once you read further, something feels off. The name mentioned in the article isn't the guy from Busan we know as a member of BTS. It's an actress, a French-Korean actress whose name just happens to be identical. Jimin. Yes, you heard that right. This isn't a scripted drama. It's not fiction. This is a real event that shook the internet, especially the global ARMY community. A well-known American entertainment outlet got caught using a photo of BTS's Jimin to illustrate an article about a different person, also named Jimin, in the context of a prestigious French film event. So how exactly did this happen? Who is the actress actually being referred to? And why did such a small mistake spark an international conversation? Stick around till the end, because in this video we're going to break down the full timeline, the fan reactions, and the important lessons about media accuracy that we can take away from this incident. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new here, this is a place where we cover entertainment news, K-pop, and viral phenomena that are currently trending across social media. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. In this video, we're diving deep into a moment that became a huge talking point, especially among BTS fans. It's about an editorial mistake made by a major American entertainment outlet that mixed up two very different people, simply because they share the same name. Let's break it down piece by piece. So here's how it went down. The American entertainment outlet Deadline, known as one of the most trusted sources for Hollywood industry news, published an article covering an annual, prestigious French event called Revelations. For those unfamiliar, Revelations is a yearly program organized by the César Academy, France's most prestigious film awards institution, similar to the Oscars in America. Every year, the César Academy announces 32 up-and-coming actors and actresses considered to have strong potential to become future stars of French cinema. It's essentially a platform for recognition and promotion for young talent just starting to make their mark in the industry. Among the dozens of names announced on that list, one name caught everyone's attention: Park Jimin. But this wasn't the Jimin we usually see performing on stage alongside the other 6 members of BTS. This was an actress whose real name is Park Jimin, known for her leading role in the French film Return to Seoul. The issue arose when Deadline's editorial team wrote the article about the Revelations announcement. Textually, they actually got it right, correctly identifying the Park Jimin in question as a female actress. But somewhere in the process, the photo used to illustrate the story wasn't a picture of the actress at all. It was a photo of Jimin, the member of the South Korean boy group BTS. This mistake was first spotted by netizens and BTS fans who closely monitor every piece of news related to their idol. Once the article went viral and spread across social media, particularly on X, formerly known as Twitter, a wave of reactions quickly flooded the comment sections. According to reports circulated by AFP News on November 16th, this incident rapidly became a widely discussed topic, not just among ARMY, but also among media and journalism observers. What made the situation even more interesting was how quickly netizens reacted. One social media user commented sarcastically, essentially pointing out that it would only take about a second to look up the cast of Return to Seoul through a search engine. That comment seemed to highlight just how easily this kind of mistake could have been avoided, if only the editorial team had done a more careful fact check before publishing. Mistakes like this, even though they might seem trivial to some, actually carry a fairly significant impact. It's not just about mixed-up identities, it's also about respecting someone's work and achievements. Picture this: an actress who worked hard to build her career, who appeared at a prestigious film festival, essentially lost her own face in an article that was supposed to be celebrating her accomplishment. Now let's get to know a bit more about Park Jimin, the actress at the center of this editorial mishap. A lot of people may not be familiar with her name, but her achievements in international cinema are actually quite impressive. Park Jimin is widely known for her leading role in the film Return to Seoul. The film is an international co-production that tells the story of a 25-year-old woman who was adopted by a French family as a child. In the story, the character decides to return to South Korea in search of her biological parents. The film's theme itself is deeply moving and relevant, exploring identity, cultural belonging, and the emotional struggle of someone growing up caught between two different worlds. It's not a light subject matter at all. It's heavy and layered, requiring a deep, nuanced acting performance to properly convey it to audiences. And Park Jimin's effort in portraying this character clearly paid off. Return to Seoul earned recognition on the international stage. The film was invited to screen in the prestigious Uncertain Regard section at the Cannes Film Festival, one of the most respected film festivals in the world. On top of that, it was also among the films shortlisted in the preliminary consideration for the Best International Feature category at the Academy Awards. Just think about how significant that accomplishment is. Being featured at Cannes alone is already an extraordinary achievement for countless actors and actresses around the world. Add in the Oscar shortlist consideration, and it becomes clear that Park Jimin's performance in the film was widely recognized by critics and the international film community. So when Park Jimin was later included in the César Academy's Revelations list, it was actually meant to be a proud, career-defining moment. The Revelations program is specifically designed to shine a spotlight on new talents considered to have a bright future in French cinema. It was an important stage for Park Jimin to gain wider recognition, not just among arthouse film enthusiasts, but with the broader public as well. Unfortunately, this important career milestone ended up being overshadowed by an editorial mistake that literally covered her identity with someone else's photo, even though the name itself was, coincidentally, identical. This is what sparked sympathy from many people, because regardless of intent, this mistake had the potential to obscure the personal achievement of an actress who had worked so hard to reach this point. Once the incident went viral, reactions from the ARMY community around the world started pouring in from all sorts of angles. Some responded critically, while others took a more reflective approach. Some netizens pointed out the lack of thoroughness on the part of Deadline's editorial team. After all, a major outlet like Deadline is considered one of the go-to sources for Hollywood entertainment news, so their standard for accuracy should be very high. Mistakes like this were seen as a reflection of insufficient research before publishing an article, especially when it comes to figures who might not be as familiar to American editors. There were also comments touching on a more sensitive point: respect for the actress's work. Some netizens felt that even if the mistake was unintentional, its impact still came across as disrespectful toward Park Jimin's accomplishments as an actress. Some argued that mistakes like this, however small they may seem, can actually affect how the public recognizes and appreciates someone's work, especially for someone just beginning to gain international recognition. On the other hand, many ARMY members actually saw a silver lining in the incident. Because the mistake went viral, Park Jimin and her film Return to Seoul ended up getting extra exposure that might not have happened otherwise. Many people who had never heard of the film became curious and started looking into the story, Park Jimin's performance, and the film's journey through various international festivals. So even though it started as a mistake, it ultimately drew more attention to the actress's work. What's even more interesting is that many people praised how quickly the ARMY community was able to catch and correct this kind of error. It shows just how active and responsive the BTS fanbase is when it comes to monitoring news related to their idol, while also reflecting a collective sense of responsibility for keeping information accurate. This phenomenon isn't actually new in the world of K-pop. Fandoms like ARMY are known for their quick and well-organized research and fact-checking abilities. As soon as something seems off in a news report, it usually takes just minutes to hours before threads and discussions pop up dissecting the details of the mistake, complete with supporting evidence like screenshots and photo comparisons. Now let's look at this from a more objective angle. Why do mistakes like this happen, especially at major outlets that are supposed to hold high journalistic standards? One possible cause is a lack of thoroughness in the image sourcing process. In today's digital age, many outlets rely on image databases or quick internet searches to find supporting visuals for their articles. If the name being searched is identical and the editorial team doesn't take the extra step to verify exactly who is being referred to, mix-ups like this photo swap become very possible. Another contributing factor might be a lack of familiarity among editors with figures from the Asian entertainment industry, particularly independent or art house cinema. Unlike major Hollywood names that are already widely recognized, an actress like Park Jimin, despite her achievements on the international stage, may not yet be as well known to American media editors in general. This creates room for identification errors like the one that happened here. Additionally, deadline pressure in journalism is another factor that shouldn't be overlooked. Entertainment media outlets are often pushed to publish as quickly as possible to keep up with traffic and stay relevant to breaking trends. When speed becomes the priority, verification and fact-checking processes can sometimes slip through the cracks, especially for smaller details like the choice of a supporting photo. Regardless of the exact cause, though, this incident remains an important reminder for the media industry as a whole. In an era of fast-paced information, accuracy should never be sacrificed for speed. No matter how small a mistake seems, especially one involving someone's identity, it can still have a major impact on the outlet's reputation and on the person affected by the error. Looking at this from a broader perspective, this incident actually opens up a bigger conversation about how global media handles cross-cultural identity issues. On one hand, BTS's global popularity is genuinely massive. Names like Jimin, RM, Jin, Suga, Jhope, V, and Jungkook are already familiar to audiences worldwide, even among people who aren't K-pop fans. But this level of fame also comes with a flip side. When one person's name becomes so dominant in search results, it can become harder for someone else with the same name to gain recognition for their own identity. This creates an interesting irony. Park Jimin, the actress, who worked hard to build her career through independent film and international festivals, ends up facing the added challenge of being overshadowed by the name of a globally famous K-pop idol who just happens to share her name. Yet her own achievements are more than deserving of recognition, without being clouded by an identification mistake like this. On the other hand, this incident also serves as an important reminder for major media outlets to pay closer attention to their content verification processes, especially when covering figures from different cultural backgrounds. The entertainment world today is more interconnected than ever. The line between Western and Asian entertainment industries continues to blur, with increasingly frequent international collaborations, cross-border films, and cultural exchange. Media outlets that want to remain relevant and trustworthy need to keep pace with these changes through more careful and inclusive journalistic standards. Another lesson we can take from this incident is the power of fan communities in safeguarding the accuracy of public information. ARMY's role in identifying and correcting this mistake shows that fandoms aren't just passive news consumers. They can also act as active watchdogs for the quality of information circulating in the public sphere. This kind of phenomenon has become increasingly common in other cases too, where a public figure's fanbase becomes a meaningful social force in ensuring fair and accurate representation. Lastly, this incident actually became an unexpected opportunity to introduce Park Jimin's work to a wider audience. Even though it started as a mistake, the silver lining is that more people became curious and wanted to learn more about Return to Seoul and the actress's career journey. It shows that sometimes a small mistake can lead to unexpected positive outcomes, namely greater attention and appreciation for a work of art that truly deserves the spotlight. Before we wrap up, let's briefly talk about how media outlets can avoid similar mistakes in the future. This matters because cases like this aren't exactly the first of their kind in entertainment journalism. First, a double verification process before publishing is clearly a critical step. Any article involving someone's identity, especially one paired with a supporting photo, should go through a layered checking process, ideally involving more than one editor, to make sure there's no identification error. Second, media outlets need to keep expanding their knowledge base regarding figures from diverse cultural backgrounds, including those who might not be mainstream in Western markets yet, but who hold significant influence within their own industries. As the entertainment world becomes increasingly globalized, cross-cultural literacy is becoming an essential skill for journalists and editors alike. Third, openness to correction is equally important. When mistakes like this happen and draw public attention, a quick and transparent response from the outlet and issuing a correction goes a long way in maintaining public trust. On the flip side, if a mistake is left unaddressed without any clarification or correction, it can actually damage the outlet's credibility even further. And there you have it, everyone. a full breakdown of the incident involving BTS's Jimin photo being mixed up with actress Park Jimin in an American media report from Deadline, covering the César Academy's Revelations event in France. A small mistake that ended up sparking a much bigger conversation about media accuracy, respect for an artist's work, and the power of fan communities in safeguarding accurate public information. For those of you who are curious, Return to Seoul is genuinely worth watching, especially given its recognition at the Cannes Film Festival and its consideration for an Oscar nomination. If you haven't seen it yet, now might be the perfect time to check out this talented actress's work. What do you think about this incident? Was it purely an understandable technical mistake, or does it reflect a broader lack of care from major media outlets when covering figures from the Asian entertainment industry? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more entertainment and K-pop updates, and share this with your friends who might also be curious about this unique story. See you in the next video, and as always, stay tuned for more interesting stories.